Every so often, I go through the exercise of examining and determining my personal values. Your personal values are your beliefs and principles that guide your daily behaviors and decision making. I like to start with my why, but if you want to jump right over to how I determined my values, you can jump right to this timestamp over here. There are 5 general reasons that I reevaluate my values every so often. First, it provides a moment of deep reflection, allowing you to deepen your self awareness. When you're aware of your values, you can better understand your emotion, motivations, and behaviors. That self awareness can help you make better decisions and help you take actions that are more aligned with those values. It also helps with decision making. Your personal values are like a compass that can help guide your decision making. When I'm faced with a difficult decision, I just lean into my values and make the choice that's most consistent with what's important to me and who I am as a person. When you know what your values are, you can focus on the things that matter the most, and you can avoid distractions that are not aligned with your values. When you set goals that are aligned with your values, you're more likely to be intrinsically motivated to accomplish those goals. You're more likely to achieve those goals and more likely to feel satisfied in the process. The last reason I periodically reevaluate my values and help my clients in my work as a clinical psychologist in determining their values is the relationship that values have in a specific type of therapy. Values play a central role in what's called acceptance and commitment based therapy, or ACT for short. In this therapy, value guides behavior and provides a sense of purpose and meaning in your life. When individuals are disconnected from their values, they're more likely to experience psychological distress and engage in behaviors that are inconsistent with their goals and values. Therefore, a core goal of ACT is to help clients identify their values and take action that are consistent with those values. So, values provide a sort of guidepost for behavior and provide a framework for individuals to start working toward creating a more fulfilling life. Okay, so how do I go about helping clients determine their values and how do I examine my own? Determining your values is a process of self-reflection and exploration, but these are the 3 steps that I take when I reevaluate my own value system. As a psychologist, I'm generally going to start with a psychometrically valid assessment of your value system. That just means that a test is valid, it's testing what it says it's testing in a consistent manner. I use the Values in Actions Character Strength Survey developed by the University of Pennsylvania as my first step for a formal value-based assessment. The VIA Character Strength Survey is a 240-item questionnaire assessing 24 strengths of character. It takes about 25 minutes to complete, and it provides an in-depth assessment of your values and character strengths. I've taken this survey about 4 times in my adult life, and although some things have fallen in and out of my top 10, my top 5 or 6 are pretty consistent over the years. Here's what my results look like. At the very top, I have a love of learning, and that's probably consistent with my education background. I have earned a PhD, and in my work as a research psychologist, I'm constantly learning new things and exploring things. Second, and related to that, is my love of critical thinking, objective thinking, and judgment. That's followed by a general appreciation of beauty. And rounding out my top 5 or 6, I have self-regulation, self-control. So I highly value things like routine and temperance, which is related to my next character strength, prudence, caution, temperance. That's followed by hope and optimism, curiosity, creativity, and perseverance. So the character strength survey focuses on what specific character strengths you might have or express more easily. So just because you're low on one of the character strengths doesn't mean that you are absent of that character strength. It might be that it's a little bit harder for you to express that strength, or that it's easier for you to express some of the strengths that might be higher up on your list. I generally start there, but because it is a survey-based assessment, I like to add additional assessments so that I can feel like I really had time to have a well-rounded evaluation of my value system. The next thing I do is review a list of common values, and then I start identifying or pulling out values that resonate with me. Some examples of values listed within a value list are things like creativity, honesty, courage, perseverance. As you're reading through the list, you can ask yourself, what's important to me? What types of things motivate me? What do I believe in? The list in the book Act Made Simple, which is what I use with my clients, can be found in the description box below. But author James Clear also has a pretty comprehensive list, also linked down below. So I took a look at both of these lists and I pulled out an initial 13 values that resonated with me. Then I took that list and I pulled out my top 7 values. Once I did that, I realized that those top 7 values fell into 3 or 4 general categories. So I identified those 3 or 4 as being some of my top values. As a final activity, I pulled out a piece of paper and identified a few people that I would consider my role models. These are people that you might admire, respect, or people that embody the values that you wish to embody. For me, I selected some of my mentors, some friends, an athletic coach, and some of the people that I met during my time in the military. Then I asked myself why I chose these people. What was it about their values or what they embody aligns best with my values that I've already identified from my other 2 assessments? The last thing that I did is consider some life experiences that I found particularly joyous or beneficial. I asked myself what values were reflected in those experiences, and I put a little dot next to the values that I pulled from my role models. Those are the people that I admire, and I wanted to see how well they matched up to the life experiences that I had. So how much am I also embodying the things that I admire in other people? Once I've collected all this data, the final step was trying to narrow down my focus and trying to identify my top 5 or 6 values from these 3 different assessments. I reviewed the list, prioritized them, and asked myself which ones are the most important and which ones are the most consistent with what I want to live by. Remember, identifying your personal values is a personal process. Be patient and reflective, and it might be helpful for you to revise or revisit your value system every so often. Once you have a better understanding of your value system, you can use that as an aid in your decision making, or you can even use it to put together a personal mission statement. My personal mission statement is mastery, beauty, and equanimity through persistence, intentionality, and temperance. Besides decorating the front of my planner and being a constant reminder of what's important to me, I also use this mission statement to help identify my goals. My goals for this year are to focus on consistency, which is consistent with several parts of my mission statement. It shows persistence, intentionality, and I develop mastery by doing things over and over. My second goal is related to my weight, which is a purely aesthetic goal. I have been fortunate over the last few years to meet a lot of my health and fitness goals, but I just am a little bit larger or bulkier than I'd like to be. So I am focusing on decreasing my body weight while maintaining the fitness gains that I've made over the past few months. If you'd like to see how I narrowed my focus and the process for selecting your goals, check out this video on how to focus your efforts if you have too many goals.